No one knows exactly how many ships and planes have disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle. According to rough estimates, it is 50 ships and 20 planes. In most cases, the disappearances remain unexplained, and no wreckage is ever found. Charles Berlitz has a rather bizarre theory about the Bermuda Triangle. He claims that the lost city of Atlantis is located in this area. According to Berlitz, the disappearances of ships and planes, as well as equipment malfunctions, were caused by energy beams emitted by energy crystals that power Atlantis. It sounds crazy, but Berlitz's theory proved so compelling that his book was purchased by more than 20 million people worldwide. In 1800, a large sailing ship called the Pickering sailed from the United States and headed for the West Indies. With a crew of 90, the ship entered the Bermuda Triangle and never came out. The Pickering was the first confirmed ship to disappear in the Bermuda Triangle. It is believed that the ship was swept away by a storm, but since no wreckage was ever found, we will never know for sure. After the disappearance of the Avenger aircraft, a large-scale search operation was launched. Ships and planes combed the Bermuda Triangle in search of any traces. A PBM-5 Mariner seaplane participated in the search. It took off at 7:27 p.m. and transmitted a routine radio message 3 minutes later. After that, it disappeared from the airwaves. No traces of the rescue seaplane or the PBM-5 were ever found. A large-scale investigation launched later failed to shed light on the disappearance of the aircraft. One of the world's busiest shipping routes passes through this area of the ocean. Skeptics believe that this fact explains everything. According to statistics, the busier the area, the higher the frequency of accidents and disappearances. This is logical, but the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle is not in the frequency of disappearances, but in the lack of explanations or wreckage found. At the bottom of the ocean, decomposing organisms release large concentrations of methane, which become trapped underwater. This gas can accumulate until it suddenly bursts free and rushes to the surface. If a ship happens to be in the vicinity of one of these emissions, it can sink without warning due to the reduced density of the water. Some scientists see this as the reason for the numerous disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle. Although this theory sounds convincing, there is one catch. The U.S. Geological Survey has stated that there have been no major gas emissions in this area for the past 15,000 years. The ocean floor consists of rocks containing large amounts of magnetite. This material is similar to iron. Magnetic fields react to the high concentration of magnetite on the ocean floor, which could lead to a kind of conflict between them. This conflict can lead to weather anomalies and, as a result, navigation problems. Any changes on the ocean floor or in the Earth's magnetic field greatly affect the Bermuda Triangle. Since the magnetic field is constantly moving, it can carry the Bermuda Triangle with it. If you know where the triangle is, it is easy to avoid it. Presumably, it is moving eastward along with the magnetic poles, but scientists cannot say where it will be in a couple of years. Some blame extraterrestrial paranormal activity for all the disasters. Others believe that it is all due to natural phenomena. There is another mysterious triangle in Lake Michigan. Like the Bermuda Triangle, the Michigan Triangle has gained its dubious reputation due to disappearances. The first recorded disappearance dates back to 1679. A large ship, one of the largest at the time, set out on an expedition, but after entering the ominous triangle, it never returned. Much later, an airplane disappeared in this triangle. The sky there is usually very clear, but as early as 1883, people observed abnormal phenomena in this area. Some claim to have seen large chunks of ice falling from the sky, and the crew even managed to preserve one of them as evidence. There is also a sinister triangle in the Pacific Ocean. Off the southern coast of Japan, not far from Tokyo, many ships have met their doom, disappearing aimlessly in these waters. It is called the Dragon's Triangle. Some scientists see the cause of the anomaly in environmental changes. In addition, there is indeed a high concentration of methane hydrates at the bottom of the ocean in this area. You deviate from your original course and sail in the wrong direction. Near the triangle is the Caribbean Sea, dotted with small islands. The seabed here is shallow. The ship may run aground. Your ship is stuck on a shoal, and you have no idea where you are. In the 21st century, the ship's captain would be able to reach the shore using GPS and other modern navigation tools. But the most interesting thing is that nowadays the compass would work correctly, since the North Magnetic Pole has long since ceased to coincide with the true north in the Bermuda Triangle. The agonistic line is now somewhere far away from here. There are no longer any navigation problems, but for some reason ships still disappear here. In fact, not only here. There are places throughout the Atlantic Ocean where many more ships have disappeared. the Bermuda Triangle isn't even in the top 10. One of the main reasons why so many ships disappear here is that one of the most popular shipping routes in the Atlantic passes through the Bermuda Triangle. And the more ships there are, the more shipwrecks there are. It's simple probability. Aquatoria is located near the southeastern coast of the United States and still frightens many sailors. But not you. You want to prove that there is nothing special about this place. You sail into the center of the Bermuda Triangle in a small fishing boat. You turn off the engine and wait. Soon the sun sets and night falls. You are about to head back when suddenly it becomes quiet, and then you hear the splash of water. You see hundreds of fish rising to the surface. It seems that something big has frightened them, and it appears to be rising straight up from the depths. The next second, huge sparkling eyes loom over you, and long tentacles reach toward the boat. It seems that one of the most terrifying myths about the Bermuda Triangle has turned out to be true. It is a giant squid that drags ships to the bottom. Stories about these squids appeared long before the myths about the triangle arose. For many centuries, sailors from Norway and Greenland told stories about a sea monster, the Kraken, which broke ship decks with its giant tentacles and dragged them to the bottom. It is impossible to see it approaching, as the Kraken swims up from below rather than from the side. These were just stories, but in the 19th century, scientific evidence of the existence of these monsters appeared. The beak of an unknown squid was found on the coast of Denmark. The find was about 7.5 centimeters in diameter. That's about the size of a human palm. It became clear that the Kraken was real, and that it was just a type of giant squid. Since then, more than 20 species of giant squid have been described, but the first video of the monster was recorded in 2004 in the North Atlantic, near the Bermuda Triangle. Marine biologists used bait to lure the squid out of the depths. It was about 9 meters long, like half a subway car. It appeared suddenly from the darkness of the ocean and quickly attacked the bait, squeezing it with its tentacles. After that, other photos and videos began to appear. Huge squids were washed ashore or swam past ships. According to records, the largest monster ever found was 18 meters long and weighed almost a ton. That's like a big bus. Some scientists believe that giant squids can reach lengths of over 45 meters. That's the size of a basketball court, but it's not enough to sink a ship. The element of surprise helps the squid. It appears from the depths, invisible from the deck, but the monster itself can see the boat from afar. It has the largest eyes in the world, each the size of a basketball. Thanks to its vision, the squid can see its prey from the depths and from a great distance. Most creatures on the planet cannot see anything in such conditions. So, the squid spots your boat and decides its food. It quickly approaches and attacks you. Squid have 8 limbs and 2 additional long tentacles, which are needed to bring food to their beak-shaped mouth. The rest are covered with dozens of suction cups with sharp teeth. Nothing can escape them. The squid wraps its tentacles around your boat and clings to the deck. 2 more long tentacles can grab you as you run around in panic. It can rock the boat until one side sinks into the water. You fight off the 2 long tentacles and fall to the ground. The squid's 8 tentacles squeeze tighter and tighter. You can hear the hull of the boat cracking. The squid is large, but it is not powerful enough to sink a large metal object. And it is unlikely that it could sink the huge ships in the Bermuda Triangle. You see the squid swimming away into the depths. You were lucky this time, but you definitely wouldn't have been able to handle 2 such monsters. The existence of giant squids was proven over 150 years ago. But little is known about them, as they are completely elusive. They swim fast and spend most of their time at a depth of 400 to 900 meters. To get there, people need sturdy submarines and bulky equipment. The squid will spot them and swim away. Scientists know nothing about their behavior, social life, habits, or the distance they swim behind. Most importantly, we do not know how many individuals live in the water. Only 5% of the ocean has been explored. Perhaps millions of giant squids swim in the depths of the sea. Just imagine hundreds of giant tentacles reaching out to ships sailing through the Bermuda Triangle. In the past, they could easily sink an entire fleet, because ships were made of wood and were lighter. Squids wrapped their strong tentacles around the decks and pierced holes in the hulls of ships with their sharp beaks. Their toothy suckers could break masts and tear sails. Water filled the holds, reached the deck, and the ship sank. Survivors made it to shore and told tales of enormous monsters. This is how the legends of the Kraken came to be. But now we have sonar and equipment for monitoring the sea. You start the engine and notice about 30 tentacles reaching out to you from the water. 3 giant squids squeeze the boat from all sides and pull it down. It seems there is no way out. You look overboard and see black eyes staring right at you. Then you find a solution. Squids live in darkness and are afraid of light, and you have a flare. You use it to scare the monsters away. The squids sink back into the water, but apparently not for long. You fire a few more flares into the ocean and scream in fear. The red light illuminates the darkness of the sea, and you see hundreds of tentacles around you. They quickly swim away from the fire to a safe distance. At full speed, you sail toward the shore and fire all your signal flares. You don't give the squids a chance to get close to you. Finally, you reach land with complete confidence that you will never return to this place again in your life. However, the fact is that giant squids do not only live in the Bermuda Triangle. People have encountered them in oceans all over the world. Yes, perhaps they are indeed connected to the disappearance of ships. But that doesn't make the Bermuda Triangle a unique place. Boats and cargo ships disappear all over the Atlantic Ocean. The Triangle isn't even in the top 10 of such places.